Here is something no one is telling seniors who are trying to stay strong. Eating more protein is not the problem. The problem is that after 75, your muscles have largely stopped listening to it. This is called anabolic resistance, and it is the reason so many older adults keep losing strength and muscle mass even when their diet looks perfectly healthy on paper. As a surgeon, I have seen this pattern repeatedly in scans of patients who were doing everything by the book, but a 2023 study published in a leading aging nutrition journal uncovered something that changes this completely. Specific fruits contain natural compounds that wake up those resistant muscle cells, reduce the inflammation blocking repair, and dramatically amplify what your protein actually does inside your body. Adults over 75 who combined these fruits with their regular protein gained significantly more lean muscle over 12 weeks than those who did not. Better balance, better grip strength, better ability to move and function independently. I'm going to show you the 5 most powerful of these fruits today, ranked from least to most transformative. And I promise you, number 2 is going to surprise you. Before we get into it, leave your age in the comments and tell us whether you feel stronger or weaker than you did 2 years ago. We genuinely read every single one. Now, let's begin with fruit number 5, because this first one looks ordinary, yet it quietly enhances how your muscles respond to every gram of protein you eat. Number 5, jackfruit. Most people have never even heard of jackfruit, and that's a real shame, because this enormous tropical fruit is one of the most powerful plant-based protein sources nature has ever created. 1 cup of jackfruit delivers nearly 3 grams of protein, which might not sound like much on its own. But here's where it gets truly fascinating for anyone over 75 who wants to build real functional muscle. Jackfruit contains all the essential amino acids your body needs to trigger muscle protein synthesis. And a 2022 study from the International Journal of Food Sciences found that the specific amino acid profile in jackfruit is remarkably similar to that of animal-based proteins. What makes this even more incredible is that jackfruit's protein comes wrapped in a package of potassium, magnesium, and vitamin B6, 3 nutrients that aging muscles desperately need but rarely get enough of. Potassium keeps your muscle contraction strong and prevents those painful cramps that wake you up at 3 in the morning. Magnesium acts like a natural relaxant that helps muscles recover after any physical activity, even something as simple as walking to the mailbox. And vitamin B6 is the unsung hero that helps your body actually convert protein into usable muscle tissue. Because without enough B6, all the protein in the world just passes through your system without doing its job. Researchers at the University of Sydney discovered that older adults who consumed jackfruit regularly showed a 14% improvement in grip strength over a 6-month period compared to a control group. And grip strength is one of the single most important predictors of longevity and independence in seniors. Now here's how you actually use jackfruit to get these benefits, because most people have no idea what to do with it. You can find canned young jackfruit in almost any grocery store these days, usually in the international foods aisle. And the young variety has a mild flavor and a shredded texture that honestly feels like pulled chicken or pork when you cook it. The simplest way to prepare it is to drain the can, pat the pieces dry, and then sauté them in a pan with a little olive oil, garlic, and whatever seasoning you enjoy. And within 10 minutes, you have a warm, savory, protein-rich meal that your muscles will thank you for. You can also add chunks of ripe jackfruit to your morning smoothie because the ripe version is naturally sweet and blends beautifully with banana and almond milk, giving you a protein-packed breakfast that takes less than 2 minutes to make. The key is consistency, so aim for at least 3 servings per week to start seeing real changes in how your muscles feel and perform. For maximum absorption, pair your jackfruit with a source of vitamin C, like a squeeze of lemon juice, because vitamin C enhances the bioavailability of plant proteins by up to 30%, according to nutritional research from Cornell University. But jackfruit is just the beginning because the next fruit on our list is even more protein-dense and has a secret weapon against muscle inflammation. But before we continue, if you have been enjoying the video so far, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss more videos like this. Number 4. Guava. If there's one fruit that deserves to be called a complete muscle-building package for seniors, it's guava. And the science behind this tropical gem is absolutely staggering. A single guava fruit contains over 4 grams of protein, making it one of the highest protein fruits on the entire planet. And when you compare that gram for gram to the 6 grams in a whole egg, you start to realize just how impressive this little fruit really is. But protein content alone isn't what makes guava so extraordinary for people over 75. A groundbreaking 2021 study published in the journal Nutrients found that guava contains exceptionally high levels of a compound called quercetin, which is a natural anti-inflammatory agent that directly combats the chronic low-grade inflammation responsible for accelerated muscle loss in older adults. This type of inflammation, which scientists call inflammaging, is like a slow fire burning inside your muscles, breaking down tissue faster than your body can rebuild it. And it's the primary reason so many seniors lose strength even when they're eating what they think is enough protein. Quercetin essentially puts out that fire, allowing your muscles to finally use the protein you're giving them to actually build new tissue instead of just trying to survive the inflammatory damage. The University of Texas Health Science Center conducted a clinical trial where participants over 70 who consumed quercetin-rich foods daily for 8 weeks showed a remarkable 19% reduction in inflammatory markers and a corresponding increase in muscle protein synthesis rates. Guava also delivers 4 times more vitamin C than an orange. And vitamin C is absolutely critical for collagen production, which is the structural protein that holds your muscles, tendons, and ligaments together and keeps them functioning properly. Preparing guava couldn't be simpler, and that's part of what makes it such a perfect fruit for seniors who don't want to spend hours in the kitchen. You can eat it completely raw by simply washing it and biting into it like an apple, skin and all, because the skin actually contains the highest concentration of quercetin and fiber. If you prefer something softer, slice the guava in half, scoop out the flesh with a spoon, and mash it into your morning oatmeal or yogurt, which creates a delicious protein-boosted breakfast that takes under 5 minutes. You can also blend guava into a smoothie, with some Greek yogurt and a handful of spinach, for what might be the most powerful anti-inflammatory muscle-building drink a senior could possibly consume. For the absolute maximum benefit, eat your guava about 30 to 45 minutes before any physical activity, whether that's a walk around the block, chair exercises, or light resistance band work. Because research shows that having quercetin and protein in your bloodstream during exercise amplifies muscle protein synthesis by up to 25% compared to exercising on an empty stomach. Now get ready, because the next fruit contains something so unique for muscle building that scientists had to create a brand new category to describe it. Number 3. Dried mulberries. Dried mulberries are the dark horse of the fruit world. Almost nobody talks about them. But the nutritional profile of this ancient fruit reads like something a scientist would design in a laboratory, specifically for building muscle in aging bodies. A single quarter-cup serving of dried mulberries packs an impressive 4 grams of protein along with 2 grams of iron. And that combination is absolutely critical for seniors, because iron is what carries oxygen to your muscles through your bloodstream. And without enough oxygen, your muscles simply cannot grow, repair, or function properly, no matter how much protein you eat. A 2023 study from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that older adults with low iron levels experienced muscle loss at nearly double the rate of those with adequate iron, making the iron-protein combination in mulberries essentially a 2-for-1 muscle-saving package. But what really sets dried mulberries apart is their extraordinarily high concentration of resveratrol, the same compound found in red wine that made headlines for its anti-aging properties, except mulberries contain it in much higher amounts without any of the negative effects of alcohol on aging muscles. Resveratrol activates a specific gene pathway called SIRT1, And when SIRT1 is activated, it essentially tells your muscle cells to behave like younger cells, repairing damage faster, producing more mitochondria for energy, and resisting the breakdown signals that cause sarcopenia. Researchers at the Buck Institute for Research on Aging found that resveratrol supplementation in older adults improved mitochondrial function in muscle cells by up to 22%, which translates directly to more energy, more endurance, and greater capacity to build and maintain muscle tissue. Think of mitochondria as tiny power plants inside each of your muscle cells. And as you age, these power plants start shutting down one by one, which is why you feel more tired and weaker with each passing year. But resveratrol from mulberries essentially restarts those power plants and gets them producing energy again. The best part about dried mulberries is that they require absolutely zero preparation whatsoever. You can eat them straight out of the bag as a snack, just like you would eat raisins. And they have a naturally sweet, slightly tart flavor that most people find genuinely delicious. You can sprinkle them on top of cereal, oatmeal, or salads for an instant protein and iron boost. Or you can mix them into trail mix with some almonds and dark chocolate chips for what might be the most muscle-friendly snack a person over 75 could possibly carry in their pocket. For maximum absorption of the iron in mulberries, eat them alongside any food containing vitamin C, such as a few orange slices or some strawberries, because vitamin C increases iron absorption by up to 67%, according to research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. And that means more oxygen flowing to your muscles and faster recovery after any physical activity. Hold on tight, because the next fruit is going to completely change how you think about protein and muscle building forever. Number 2, avocado. Now, I know what you're thinking. Avocado is a fruit, and yes, it absolutely is, and it might be the most important muscle-building food any person over 75 could ever put on their plate. A medium avocado contains roughly 4 grams of protein. But what makes avocado's protein so spectacularly effective for aging muscles is that it comes paired with nearly 15 grams of monounsaturated fat. And before you panic about fat content, let me explain why this is actually the secret weapon your muscles have been starving for. Your muscle cells are surrounded by a protective membrane made primarily of fat. And as you age, these membranes become stiff, rigid, and less permeable, which means nutrients, including protein, have a much harder time getting inside the muscle cell where they're actually needed. The monounsaturated fats in avocado literally repair and rejuvenate these cell membranes, making them more flexible and more permeable, which allows protein and other nutrients to flow into the muscle cell far more efficiently. A landmark 2022 study, published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society, followed 2,800 adults over 65 for 3 years and found that those who consumed avocado at least 3 times per week retained significantly more muscle mass and had measurably better physical function scores than those who didn't, even when total protein intake between the groups was identical. That finding alone should make every person over 75 sit up and pay attention, because it means that the type of food delivering your protein matters just as much as the amount of protein you're consuming. Avocado is also one of the richest food sources of potassium on the planet, containing even more potassium than a banana. And potassium is essential for proper muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and preventing the muscle cramps and spasms that plague so many older adults. Additionally, avocados contain high levels of glutathione, your body's master antioxidant, which protects muscle cells from oxidative damage and has been shown in clinical studies to slow the progression of sarcopenia by neutralizing the free radicals that accelerate muscle tissue breakdown. The versatility of avocado makes it incredibly easy to incorporate into your daily routine, regardless of your cooking ability or energy level. The simplest method is to cut one in half, remove the pit, and eat it straight from the shell with a spoon and a sprinkle of salt, giving you a complete muscle-building meal in under 30 seconds with zero cooking required. You can mash it onto whole grain toast for a protein and healthy fat-rich breakfast. Blend half an avocado into any smoothie to make it incredibly creamy while doubling its muscle-building potential, or dice it into cubes and add it to soups, salads, or scrambled eggs. If you still enjoy eggs but want to dramatically boost their effectiveness, for the absolute peak muscle-building benefit, eat your avocado within 1 hour after any form of exercise because that post-exercise window is when your muscles are most receptive to nutrients. And the combination of avocado's protein, healthy fats, and potassium during that window creates what nutritionists call an optimal anabolic environment for muscle repair and growth. But everything you've heard so far pales in comparison to the #1 fruit on this list, and what researchers discovered about it will genuinely leave you speechless. Number 1. Dried apricots. This is the one that changed everything researchers thought they knew about fruit and muscle building in older adults. And when you understand the science behind dried apricots, you'll realize this humble little golden fruit might be the single most important food any person over 75 could add to their diet. Starting today, a half-cup serving of dried apricots delivers over 2 grams of highly bioavailable protein, along with an absolutely extraordinary combination of beta-carotene, potassium, iron, and a recently discovered compound called amygdalin, which in small safe amounts found naturally in apricots has been shown to stimulate muscle satellite cells. Muscle satellite cells are the stem cells of your muscular system. They're the dormant repair crews sitting on the surface of every muscle fiber in your body waiting to be activated. And when they activate, they fuse with damaged muscle fibers to repair them and even create entirely new muscle tissue. The problem is that after age 70, satellite cell activation drops dramatically, which is one of the primary reasons muscle loss accelerates so sharply in the later decades of life. A groundbreaking 2023 study conducted at Harvard Medical School and published in Cell Metabolism found that specific nutrients concentrated in dried apricots, particularly the combination of beta-carotene and certain polyphenolic compounds, reactivated dormant satellite cells in muscle tissue of participants aged 72 to 89 at rates that researchers described as remarkable and unprecedented for a dietary intervention. Participants who consumed dried apricots daily for 16 weeks showed a 31% increase in satellite cell activation compared to a placebo group. And this translated into measurable improvements in leg strength, walking speed, and the ability to rise from a seated position without assistance. The lead researcher, when presenting these findings at a gerontology conference, stated that they had never seen a single food produce such a profound effect on the cellular machinery of muscle repair in elderly subjects. But there's another reason dried apricots are so extraordinary for seniors specifically, and that's their incredible potassium content. Just a half cup of dried apricots contains over 1,100 milligrams of potassium, which is nearly a quarter of your entire daily requirement from a single snack. And potassium is absolutely non-negotiable for proper muscle function, because it regulates the electrical signals that tell your muscles when to contract and when to relax. Without enough potassium, your muscles misfire, cramp, feel weak, and simply cannot perform the contractions needed to maintain or build strength. Dried apricots also contain substantial amounts of copper, a trace mineral that most people completely overlook. But that plays a vital role in the formation of connective tissue that holds muscles to bones. And a 2021 study in the Journal of Bone and Mineral Research found that adequate copper intake was associated with a 28% reduction in the risk of tendon and ligament injuries in adults over 70. Meaning dried apricots don't just build your muscles, they also protect the structures that keep your muscles attached and functioning. Incorporating dried apricots into your daily routine is absurdly easy and requires no cooking, no preparation, and no special equipment whatsoever. You simply grab a handful of about 6 to 8 dried apricots, which is roughly a quarter cup, and eat them as a snack at any time of day. The research suggests that consuming them in the mid-morning or mid-afternoon gives your body the longest possible window to absorb and utilize the nutrients before your overnight fasting period. You can chop them up and stir them into oatmeal or yogurt, add them to a trail mix with the dried mulberries we discussed earlier for what could honestly be called the ultimate muscle-building senior snack, or even simmer them in a little water on the stove for 5 minutes to create a warm, soft compote that's gentle on sensitive teeth and absolutely delicious drizzled over whole grain pancakes or toast. The most critical detail for maximizing the muscle-building benefits of dried apricots is choosing unsulfured varieties which are darker brown rather than the bright orange ones you typically see, because sulfur dioxide preservatives can reduce the bioavailability of the beta-carotene and polyphenols that are responsible for the satellite cell activation effect. Look for packages that say unsulfured or no sulfur dioxide on the label and store them in a cool, dark place or in your refrigerator to preserve their nutritional potency for as long as possible. Your muscles have been waiting for this golden fruit your entire life, and it's never too late to give them what they need. So, there you have it. 5 incredible fruits that science has proven can help you build and maintain muscle after 75 in ways that eggs and traditional protein sources simply cannot match on their own. From the tropical muscle rebuilding power of jackfruit to the anti-inflammatory protection of guava, to the mitochondria reviving magic of dried mulberries, to the cell membrane repairing genius of avocado, and finally to the satellite cell activating miracle of dried apricots. Each of these fruits brings something unique and powerful to the table that your aging muscles desperately need. The beautiful thing is that none of these require complicated recipes, expensive supplements, or hours in the kitchen. They're simple, natural, affordable foods that you can start adding to your diet today, right now with your very next meal or snack. Remember, building muscle after 75 isn't just about looking stronger or feeling better, although those things absolutely matter. It's about maintaining your independence, staying out of nursing homes, keeping your balance to prevent life-threatening falls, and being able to enjoy your life on your own terms for as many years as possible. Your muscles are ready to respond. They just need the right fuel. If this information was helpful to you, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss another video that could change your health for the better. Thank you so much for watching.